Hello friends, and welcome back to part 2 of this buying guide. If you haven't seen part 1, I will leave a link up here and down below for you so that if you want to watch that one, you can. That one is all about ready-made products, so jewelry, like random things you're going to need, shoes, accessories, ready-made corsets, that kind of thing are all in that video. So I looked at the list of things that I have left to do, and there's too many for one video. I can't put it all in one more video, so I'm going to do 2 videos. This one is going to be what everyone keeps asking for, so I wanted to get it out as fast as possible, which is where do you get your fabric, and also I'm going to add people who have like kits for things in this video, some of which you saw in the last video as well, but it's worth mentioning. The next video that I'm going to do is going to be patterns, corset supplies, and then also commissions. So I can recommend a few people to you who, if you want to get something commissioned, can do that for you. And as with last time, if you have a suggestion of a place that I did not happen to mention this time, please go ahead and leave it down below for me so that I can check it out, and if it's someplace that I want to endorse and I think is awesome, I will put it in the description as well for everyone who rolls through here later, or if you come back because you want to review these options, that should be an updated list for you. Alright, let's get started. Okay, the first shop we're going to hit up is Renaissance Fabric. This is a customer owned and operated fabric store that contains a lot of fabrics for historical purposes. They have plenty of products and they have some exclusive products, so we can have a look at those. Here are the exclusive products. They are largely silk taffetas, but they have all kinds of stuff that ends up in here, and this stock at the store does change over a lot, so sort of get it when you see it, because they may or may not get more of the particular thing that you're looking for. They do have obviously silks, wool, linen, cotton, lots of trims. They do sell patterns, and they usually have a pretty cool clearance section in which they sell small remnants, usually 2 or 3 yards or less, in which you can get a pretty good deal on some things if you're willing to take whatever yardage they have. Ooh, this figured silk taffeta looks pretty cool. I might be into that. Anyway, this is a great site to come to know for sure that you're getting a quality item that is costumer approved, that is sold by costumers for costumers. Speaking of sold by costumers for costumers, we have, of course, Burnley and Trowbridge. Angela Burnley is an amazing human being and a great costumer who's friend to lots of us. If you come to costume college, you will often be able to meet her. She has lots of things on this site. Obviously, there's tons of fabrics, so we can go have a look at those. Obviously, these are all 18th century, some 19th century historical solutions for you to get. And she does sort them by sort of what the pattern is on there, and that's very helpful if you're looking for a specific thing. I tend to come for neutrals a lot of times, but the stripe selection is absolutely amazing in the linen category. There's plenty of wools to be had as well, in all different kinds of weights and colors. It's beautiful, and it is costuming approved, historically accurate fabric in which you can feel good about the fact that you're getting the thing that you are looking for if you're looking to do something that is quality and authentic. She has also books and patterns, accessories. There's like, she's famous for her handkerchiefs. Those are all available on the site. She also sells linen and silk thread, button molds, stuff like that, boning, all sorts of things that you might need for your 18th century, early 19th century sort of costuming needs. Those are all available there, including some pretty cool, hard to find, like button molds. Like I said, she sells bone button molds and actual buttons as well. There is a sale section on here which also has remnants and stuff, which you can get some good deals in here too, and definitely if you're looking for shoe buckles, this is a great place to find them. And here is Silk Baron. It is exactly what you'd think it would be. It is a silk selling website. I find this site slightly antiquated to use, but once you get used to it, you will be able to navigate it very easily. You can click on any given picture and it will definitely take you back to where you want to be. And if you just use this sidebar here, once you get in anywhere, it's easy to navigate around what you might want. So the silks are then broken down by weave. So if we want, say, a shantung, we can come in here. We can also go further down if we're looking for a specific color. So here are all the magentas. And usually you can find just about anything that you're looking for in here just by clicking around. I definitely recommend when you roll in here to the home page, just go ahead and like click anywhere in this main section and it'll bring you to a page that has this sidebar, and that's really how you get around this site. Here's another shop for your silk arsenal. This is Silks Unlimited. It is a fairly well-priced silk shop. You can come here and again look by color. You can look by type, depending on what you're looking for. Note to everyone here, the tissue taffeta, hard to work with. Go for real taffeta. So it's another site where you can know that you're getting good quality, 100% good silk. They have pages and pages and pages of every kind of silk that you could possibly need. They also have a section where you can, shop by silk design. So if you want something with, say, like embroidery on it, let's go see what has embroidery on it. Cool, we'll find all different kinds of embroidered silks for you. So it just sort of depends on which style of shopping you want to do. You can also, of course, shop by color, which is one of my favorite ways to do that, because I usually am like, I need red, or yeah, let's just all face it, it's always red. And here's all the red silks that they have with embroidery. So these do sort of stack. They're like filters more than anything else. So make sure to go all the way out to the beginning again if you're going to do this kind of a search. And speaking of a site that looks like it came from the 90s, here we have Thai Silks, which is one of the best stores for silks you can go to. This store actually is located in Mountain View, California, so it's actually very close to my home. It's a much more appealing actual shop to go into. You'll find things a lot easier. But they are in fact shipping out currently on this. They're saying, you know, they're subject to their stock on hand and they have no back orders currently. But they do have tons and tons of different kinds of silks for you to pick through. These are all the different fabric choices. So depending on, say we want organza, we can come here and look at all the different organzas that are available. They happen to have 7 of them. Some of them are dyeable or dyed, and some of them are not. And some of them are natural silks, and some of them are bleached. So you just sort of have to look around. They also sell things like silk scarves. I know they have burnout silk if you're interested in things with burnout. They have silk velvet. They have all kinds of silks that are somewhat difficult to get your hands on in certain areas. So do come have a poke around Thai Silks. It's a really great place. And once we get out of the current pandemic, I am sure this website will become a lot more robust when they are allowed to take back orders. Okay, lots of people ask me where I get my Tarletan fabric. I just do a search for Tarletan and fabric, and I come down here past all the paid for advertisements to the Takach Press site, and here we are. They sell their tarlatan for $2 a yard. They do have, I think, a minimum of 5 yards. I have never found myself buying less than 5. If you're going to use this to line a walking skirt, which is what people are normally looking for with tarlatan, I sort of suggest this regular tarlatan. The stiff is very, very stiff. If you want tarlatan to line a very tailored coat, a very, very tailored vest, something like that, you might want to give the stiff a go. They also do tell you that you can break in your tarlatan a little bit before you use it by pulling a length of the tarlatan around the corner of a table leg. I do not suggest you do this on your dining room table. You will ruin your dining room table leg. Do it on the workbench in your garage or whatever table that you don't care about, or some sort of rod or pole if you want to do it that way. You can also just like bunch it up a lot, which is what I do. And then I iron it back out and then I put it into my skirts. I've also done wash tests with the tarlatan. If you wash it very gently, you can definitely get it wet. It will lose its stiffness while it's wet, and then it will regain its stiffness once again once it's wet. So if you're going to clean your skirt, I would spot clean it. And I would try to just spot clean the outside of your skirt. You can put this through a water situation and that will be fine, but if you use soap, it will definitely soften the tarlatan down a lot. It will still be a structural help to have the tarlatan in there, even if it gets washed with soap, but it's not going to be nearly as stiff as it was before. Okay, here is my favorite place to get linen and the place that we all talk about all the time. This is Fabrics-store.com. This location has every kind of linen you will ever want, and it is at a very good price. So they have all kinds of linen. They have regular weight, they have lightweight, they have heavyweight linen. And this price that you're seeing here is actually a really great price. However, if you sign up for their mailing list, which I suggest you do, you will get an email every single day from them trying to sell you some different kind of linen. And we call it diet pill linen, and we call it diet pill linen because the ads look something like this. Where you're like, okay, I just want to buy your cheap linen. So your linen that is normally, you know, $11.50 a yard or $11.80 a yard, as it says there, you will get for, as it says here, $7.32 a yard, and you can buy up to 15 yards. It says we would like to send you 5 yards. You can change that up to 15. Anyway, you go down here and you're like, okay, oh, I could push this. What is all this other stuff? And you keep reading and reading and reading, and then there's testimonials. And it's just like when you have to buy like whatever diet pill advertisement you're gonna get, it just keeps going. So finally, you can say, yes, send me your fabric, and you can choose, and here's where you can change your quantity up to 15 yards. Fantastic price, $7.32 for a 5.3 ounce linen. It's a mid-weight linen, and it's really beautiful linen, and I've bought tons of this stuff, so it's fantastic. They put it straight in your cart. Just go ahead and buy it at that price. The other thing about the emails that they're going to send you is that they'll say, oh, this price is only good for 3 days. Just file that email that you're going to get in some file folder in your email. You can use it anytime you want. That price is pretty much good forever. They just keep sending out these emails to everybody, and everybody gets sort of a different email every day depending where they are in the process. At some point you will see duplicates of the emails. You can start ignoring those ones. But I definitely recommend you find like the 5 or 6 base emails that are offering you either white or black linen at the incredibly low price. There's also like a handkerchief weight that they'll try to sell you, and a tea towel striped one that you can buy that's a heavier weight linen if you want to make tea towels for people out of it. Just save those emails because you can use them anytime, and that price is pretty much always good. So anyway, yeah, you can roll in here and get some of the best linen on the market for super cheap. They also have like waffle linen. They have yarn dyed stripe linen, which is fantastic. They have jacquard, so I definitely recommend this place. Also, I don't know if the coupon code that they just give you in every single box works on the sale linen that you get, the diet pill linen, but if you're coming in here looking for something that isn't white linen or black linen, you can always use the coupon code I love linen, ILOVELINEN, to get 7% off any order. No, I am not sponsored, but I really should be. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the, what I would call, they're not like low-end fabric places, but they're definitely like a warehouse type fabric stores that you can get lots and lots of stuff at, but they still sell a fantastic product, which is why I'm recommending them to you. Fabric.com here is like the go-to for cotton. If you need cotton, consider, this is, you know how like Joann has like all the cotton? This place has all the cotton. So for those of you who are in America and know Joann, they do have all sorts of other items, like they have linen and broadcloth and muslin and all that kind of. Come here for cotton. This is the place to be. They have every kind of cotton. They have lots and lots of Kona cotton, as you can start seeing. If you're a quilter, this is the place for you. They do have like fat quarter bundles. They have all kinds of stuff for you. Whatever you're looking for that is cotton, this is where I get it. And their prices are very reasonable. Their quality is very good. They ship very well. It's a nice place. You can, as you can see on the side here, do a million different kinds of filters. So definitely hit those filters up. And as you can see down here, there's 133 pages of cotton. This is why I'm telling you, if you want cotton, show up at fabric.com. This is the place to be. If you're into flannel, they also have a ton of flannel, obviously mostly cotton-based flannel. They have a very, very wide selection. I think they have something like 17 or 18 pages of flannel. So if you're looking for some pajama wear, some sheet making flannel, whatever you want your flannel for, interior, man, flannel linings are actually really nice. If you're going to make yourself a jacket, you can line it in flannel. That makes it nice and cozy, and nobody needs to know about your pink ballerina flannel. This is a great site to come check out. Okay, this is Onlinefabricstore Net. This site does have a wide variety of different kinds of fabrics. They have everything from cotton to rayon to polyester, whatever. So if you're not specifically looking for, say, historical fabrics, this is a great place to come, especially if you want to like cover your sofa or whatever. But they have lots of different kinds of product groupings. I mean, they have like everything, as you can see. I definitely have bought an organdy here before. I really like their organdy. It's really good. It's, I think, $7 a yard. I think right now they're out, but they also do have white cotton lawn. So if you're here and you want to make your chemise à la reine, this is the place to come get some fabric for that at $5.35 a yard. Also, if you buy a whole bunch of it, you get discounts as you go. So it depends on sort of what you're into. They do have home decor fabric. So if you want to cover your chairs and stuff like that, you can definitely do that here. But you can come look through the sidebar here. They have just about everything. Again, it's like a warehouse. So their selection is very impressive. You might not always find the fabric that you want in a historically accurate fiber content, but you can find some great stuff in here. So like you come in here and you're like, oh, organza, but it's nylon, wah wah. But if you're making something that you don't care if the fabric is nylon, cool, you're doing some 50s thing. This is a great place to get organza if you're doing 50s skirts, because you don't need it to be silk. You can absolutely use nylon organza for your petticoats. So, you know, keep an open mind. This is a great place to buy some pretty cheap fabric. Okay, here we are at Fabrex Wholesale Direct. This is a great shop as well. They have everything, just everything. The thing that I normally come here for is muslin. They do a great price on muslin at $2.99 a yard. This is the muslin I have been using in all of my undergarments. I use it for all of my mock-ups. It's the interior lining layer of all of my masks, because all my masks are either 3 or 4 layers. So like, this is a very sturdy muslin though. Let me just warn you, this is some thick muslin. It's also 60 inches wide at $2.99 a yard. It's fantastic muslin. I do have to pull it on grain very frequently, but frankly, I've had to pull everything that I've used recently on grain, even, no matter where I got my muslin. So it's definitely worth it. This one is a natural. It's not bleached at all. If you need somewhat of a more sturdy fabric to do all of your mock-ups in, this is a fantastic fabric and I've liked it. The only thing I don't like about it is that I bought it and it came in a gigantic roll and it doesn't have a pipe in the middle. So now it's kind of like floppy roll, you know what I mean? But at this price, whatever. And I think I bought like, I don't know, 25 yards or something. So I got it at a slight discount. So this is a great place to get muslin. They also, what I have noticed right here, is they have African prints, which are absolutely stunning to make masks out of. They are fantastic lining. They're fantastic outerwear. I mean, let's all be clear here, but they're absolutely beautiful as linings as well. So they have a ton of African prints that I'm just so impressed with, and makes me want to come here and buy them all up. And they're super cheap, $4.99 a yard. This is really exciting for me. Look at this paisley. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I am super excited about Fabric Wholesale Direct right now, apparently. We now come to Fashion Fabrics Club, which is another sort of warehousey type place. They have, of course, all kinds of different fabrics, as do the other ones. The reason that I find this place mostly interesting is because they have a wide selection of wool fabric. They have tons of pages of wool. They have a lot of fabrics that are wool and wool blend. You can come over here on the sidebar and pick which kind of thing that you want. Say we want Italian wool. Let's see what they have for Italian wool. Cool. And they will be honest with you about what the wool fiber content is in here. So they give you lots of very good information, like this is 75% wool, the 22% polyester, and 3%. You can do things like type 100% wool into the search bar. And see what comes up. So all of these should be 100% wool. And the thing that I like about this site is that every now and then things go on crazy sale. I've gotten wool, like beautiful Italian wool, for as little as I think $7.99 a yard, which was just fantastic. And you can find lots of cool things here. So if you're into that, you want to dig around a little bit for some wool, you can find some great deals on this. I would sign up for their newsletter. They do send it out when there's a sale going on. Anyway, I find this store absolutely awesome. They do have other types of fabric, obviously, besides wool. Like it's a silly thing to have a favorite for, but I definitely come here specifically with that in mind. You can find just about anything you want on this site just as well. And like I said, the sales are really good. especially if you're not necessarily looking for a historically accurate fiber count. If you want taffeta, here's a great beautiful dark teal taffeta for $5.95 a yard. So things are doable, guys. You can, while I personally don't love wearing polyester because it doesn't breathe. I will never shun anyone for wearing a polyester costume, especially if it gets you to the event. I am all about people showing up and having a good time. And I would honestly rather that this polyester be made into a beautiful costume that you're going to keep for a really long time and love than, get thrown in the trash by someone else. Okay, moving along to a little bit more of an expensive taste kind of fabric situation. I'm going to show you a bunch of fabric stores where you can get some very high quality fabrics and you can be very, very confident in what you're getting. This is Organic Cotton Plus. As you can imagine, what they sell is organic cotton. So supposedly everything on their site is organic and it is cotton. They are notable for having hemp. So I find that really interesting. If you'd like to buy some hemp muslin, you can do that. It's $13.15 a yard, which seems crazy to me for muslin, but hey, if you're into hemp, this is the way to go. So there's plenty of options for different kinds of organic fibers. If you want to help make sure that your clothing that you're making, especially if you say you're not making, you could absolutely make historical clothing out of hemp. They for sure did that. However, if you're interested in regular wardrobe stuff, this is also a great place to come and make sure that you're buying sustainable fabrics. They do have a made in the USA section. So if you want to make sure that everything you're getting here is made in the USA, you can also do that. They may not have everything that you want there, but definitely worth a look. Okay, let's have a little chat about Mood Fabrics. Mood Fabrics is wonderful. They have a store in New York and a store in Los Angeles. And anytime that you are anywhere near either of those places, I highly suggest that you give either one of them a look. Mood has high quality, amazing fabrics. They are not the cheapest in the book. You're definitely going to pay Mood prices. But they have everything and they have exactly what you're looking for, and you can trust what they say about any given fabric that they're telling you. Additionally, if you sign up for their little club, you don't even really have to receive emails. I think I got emails and then I stopped getting them, but I still have the ability. You can favorite fabrics so that if you're looking for a bunch of stuff, you can compare them to each other and you can save them for later. Also, if you buy fabric from them, they start giving you the option to order swatches from them, and the swatches will become free the more fabric that you order from them. So it's definitely worthwhile to do that. I really like Mood. It's obviously a store that is very high end. I also find that the staff is very knowledgeable. Obviously, Project Runway use them as their exclusive store for people to have to buy fabric from, which makes me just trip out because those poor kids could have gone to the fabric district, but they couldn't because they were instructed to buy all their fabrics at Mood and they had to pay Mood prices, which sucks. But oh, that's beautiful linen right there. I highly suggest you give Mood a look. Every time that someone says, do you know where I can get blah, blah, blah? I'm like, well, it's going to be expensive, but did you try Mood? And people are like, oh no, I forgot it. And then they end up buying their fabric at Mood because Mood has everything and they have exactly what you need. And it's very nice fabric. Highly recommend. Here we have McCulloch and Wallace. This is a store that gets recommended. Like, no matter what I say to Constance, I'm like, do you know where I can get blah, blah, blah? She's like, oh, McCulloch and Wallace. Every single time. So they have trim, they have haberdashery, which means like all the things you need to like make clothes, closure, stuff like that. They have all of that kind of stuff. They have fabrics, they have millinery things, they have everything that you could possibly need. So it is a good place to get fabrics. Their fabrics, again, are not cheap. This is a UK based store, but they will ship to the United States. So depending on what you want, I always just like roll over here and start looking at these things because yum. I really love their like tweed selection is actually pretty good too. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 30 pounds for tweed is actually really not that bad. It's a pretty good price. Notably, they have every kind of thread you're ever going to want. They have every kind of needle you're ever going to want. They have every kind of button you're ever going to want. Every kind of closure you're going to ever want. They have everything you will ever need at this store. You will have to wait for shipping and you will have to pay for shipping if you're not in the UK. But for those of you who are in the UK, this is the place for you. I believe this store also is available like when it's in normal times. You can go visit this store and you can go in and buy things. I do think that Constance says that the staff can't be bothered. So like, don't expect a great amount of help there, but you can find everything there. So definitely I'm giving you the Noelle seal of approval that this is a great place to come. Even if you just want to come look at, you know, sewing notion porn, this is the place to be. Okay, this is Stone Mountain and Daughter Fabrics. This is a place that's actually located in Berkeley, California, so it's pretty close to me. They have some beautiful fabric, is what I'm gonna say. They do have a lot of different kinds of cotton fabric, so if you're looking for that, but they also had some brilliant silks. They had some lovely wools. Let's go have a look at these wools. They are a very trustworthy store. Again, they're not cheap. Like, these prices are not as cheap as you would like them to be. However, I have personally seen this cashmere wool coating at $63 a yard for cashmere is not actually out of the range of normal. It's crazy, but it's not outside of the range of normal. And this fabric makes you want to roll around naked in it. It's just absolutely delicious. Oh, this color too. I like me some jewel tones. This is just beautiful. Anyway, this wool is all really lovely. $36 for some recycled wool. Wow, that's really great. They have a lot of really beautiful things at this store, and their brick and mortar store I think is currently closed, which is a bummer, but you can still shop online, which is fantastic. And I don't remember them having such a robust online presence as they do now, so maybe that was actually something that was really great that came out of this, is they got more of their stuff online in a really great way. Silk rayon velvet for $38.70 a yard isn't horrible. It's not the best price you could get it for, but it is definitely not the worst. So you can find a lot of really beautiful fabrics at this store as well. So if you're just browsing for something lovely and you need some inspiration, this is a great place to be. This isn't fabric, but it is lots of different kinds of thread. Devere Yarns is not cheap, but it is thread porn. So if you need embroidery thread, weaving yarn, silk thread, any of that kind of stuff, this is the place for you. The reason I'm stuck on this page is because they have these advent calendars every year. I believe Yule is opening one of these advent calendars on her stories every day during the Christmas season. But as you can see, you can get all kinds of beautiful colors of silks here and different kinds of threads and yarns for your sewing needs. These are really great for hand sewing. They are, of course, great for embroidery thread, that sort of thing. Definitely recommend. I sit here in awe. If you want some buttonhole thread, I believe I have that in here. Yep, that's true. So if you're looking for some silk buttonhole thread to make buttonholes with, wow, these are beautiful. Anyway, this is a great site also to come check out, just to give you some inspiration and love, even if you may or may not want to buy from this store. This is also a UK-based store. Okay, if you want to come look at some of the most expensive and beautiful fabrics you might see, this is a Swedish-based store, the Historical Fabric Store. I know this place because they do have some beautiful wool. I always look at a wool selection of a store just to see what they have. It kind of tells me more about the store depending on what they have and how much it costs. Gives you a lot of information. This 590 kroner number comes up at, I think, $70 a yard, because I was looking at this right here is the wool tweed that Bernadette got for her skirt. I am about to get it for my skirt as well, except I found it at half this price. So I will give you a little look-see at that one as well. Man, do I love looking at this though. Oh, this is actually hers right here. You can find lots and lots of things here. Definitely, let's go look at the taffeta, see what they have. Oh, they have cards too. This is a great thing to buy, is the cards, because you could just then pick out whatever color you want whenever you want it. So their silk taffeta is even more expensive, but man, Is that some beautiful silk? So basically, I don't ever recommend anyone come here and buy from this store because it's way too expensive, nor do I recommend, oh, unless you're Swedish, maybe this is the best place for you to buy if you're from Sweden, and I know that there are viewers here from Sweden. But dang if this ain't expensive. This is so much money. Wow, look at this. These are just lovely. Quick shout out to this Zadie Grossman store. I really like looking around here. They also have hemp fabric in here, which is the thing that makes me super excited about this particular shop. Hemp is starting to make a comeback and I'm excited about it. I really want to make a 18th century Federalist gown out of this particular, and it's not that bad, except that it's twice this much. It's the one thing that I actually don't like about this store is that they sell everything in half yard. And you have to make sure to note that if you're going to buy from them, because you will be really disappointed if you come back and find out that you bought half as much fabric as you needed. I don't love places that sell by the half yard. It's not a big selling point for me. However, this store does have some very lovely things, so I thought I would show it off to you. They have wool velvet, which I find really interesting personally, and they have it in this beautiful pumpkin color, which makes me kind of want to smoosh that all over my face. So there's lots of good, cool, neat fabrics to look at on this shop. They also have a trimming section, which I find beautiful to look at. This is like the opposite of those earlier shops that I was showing you where everything looks like it was made in the late 90s and they just left it that way. It's a really lovely shop in which they have managed to show you everything in a really beautiful way. Okay, when we're looking for wool, Barrington Fabrics is a great place to come. It is a British site as well. They will ship over to America. They do have that beautiful tweed that I really want down here. You do have to sign up for an account before they'll show you the price. I can tell you that this is £30 a yard. So, or a meter, at £30 a meter. So it is significantly cheaper than that. They're a Swedish site of beauty, but they also have a million other most beautiful tweeds. Like just such lovely fabrics here. Wow, look at that. I'm into that one. That's so beautiful. So lots and lots of lovely wool on this site. Oh yeah, this one. Rose red herringbone. Oh, that's some good stuff right there. Of course, I'm going to go for the red because that's who I am. But they have wool in every fabric kind of situation that you could want. So, and the prices aren't bad at all. They're very, very reasonable. So I do recommend this Barrington Fabrics place. And go ahead and sign up so you can see the prices. They're not going to send you a million emails. I haven't gotten, I think, any from them. Ooh, I like this blue and black herringbone also. Okay, I'm going to stop shopping because that's what I'm doing right now. Here we are at Vogue Fabrics. This is a wonderful fabric store. They have lots and lots of stuff and their prices are fairly decent. They have fabrics by content, fabrics by weave, fabrics by every kind of everything. So let's do what we always do and go over to wools and see what happens. I wonder if I just click on wool, what happens? Oh, yep, we get the overviews. Let's see what's in here. Oh, that's beautiful. Do I need a fuchsia coat? I think I might. That's not a bad price either. So they have some really, really lovely things in Vogue Fabrics. They are a reliable store. Everything they say about their fabrics so far has been true for me. The one thing that I come here for a lot is also temporarily out of stock here, which is the organdy, because they have white cotton organdy at $4.25 a yard, which is just a fantastic price and I recommend every time. But it's worth coming over here because they have so many beautiful things here. They also have, oh, looks like some pretty good prices on muslin as well. So if you're into muslin, you might want to roll over here and see what they've got. I wonder if you can buy these by the bolt. Oh yeah, sure can. Look at that. Okay, so they have 50 yards of muslin for $200, which is $4 a yard. This is a fantastic deal. So yeah, this looks like it's a great place to buy muslin as well. So if you're into that, for sure. But they have such beautiful fabrics here too. Like definitely come over here and have a look around and see what they have and find the things that make you happy and look those up and see how they do for you. That's kind of what I would suggest with all of these, is to come to these shops and look for the things, you know how I come here and I look at wool and I look at silk and I see, okay, what do they have here and what are the prices? This is like a gauge for me to see how I feel about this site. So you should come to these sites and look for the things that you are typically interested in and then figure out how you feel about the sites based on that. Okay, that completed our tour through the fabric stores that I frequent the most. And next I'm going to go to places where you can get random supplies, kits, stuff like that. I like to buy a kit or where a big portion of, say, the embroidery or something is done. So these are the places that I go, and I just have a few of them here for you. Of course, Penny River is going to be on my list. I buy kits from her pretty much constantly. She has kits for pinballs, for mitts, frequently pockets are involved in here as a patchwork pocket, all sorts of things. This one is a silk bonnet kit. You can also get, you know, a bunch of other notions and things that you might need for creating your projects at her shop. So definitely recommend Jess from Penny River. She is a great person in general and also a great purveyor of her shop. Also obvious is going to come up is Willoughby and Rose. I buy kits from her all the time as well. She has many accessories and notions and ribbons and blank hats for you to cover. Here is her supply kit section. Lots of housewives for sure. She just released this 18th century pin pillow kit. We have a new featured costumer for the Hussif Housewife kit, who is Glynis, and those are some beautiful fabrics, I tell you. So lots of kits on her site. Lots of them are Hussif kits, but there are other things as well. She has garter kits for her Harry Potter garter designs, which I love. And by the way, if you don't want the whole kit and you just want the design, and you can go embroider it yourself and make your own garters without having all of the notions and trappings come from her, you can go over to her Etsy store, in which she sells the digital files for super cheap. So those are also available to you. She also has a shift kit and a side hoop kit and another kind of shift kit. So she's got a linen one and a cotton one. So everything's already supplied for you. All you have to do is sew that bad boy together yourself and you will have a linen or cotton shift. I highly recommend, by the way, that you go linen because cotton, as it turns out, is awesome, but it is also very warm. And if you have that many layers on, even if it's cold out, you frequently don't need to be any warmer. I would use the linen one. If you are a human who uses an embroidery machine or even can embroider by hand, because she does have some embroidery patterns by hand, Christine from Sewstine is here to help. She also frequently has kits. She did do a pocket kit at one point for the dumpster fire pockets. She also did Hussif kits for a while for this design. Maybe not that exact design, maybe there's another design for her Hussifs that she was selling. So these kind of come in and out of Vogue with her because she will make up a bunch and sell those kits off, and then they go out of stock and you are sad monkey if you didn't get one. So do keep your eye on this. She did have, I think, this guy as a kit as well at one point maybe. So yeah, just keep an eye on over here. But if you do like to embroider, she does have all of these things that I've been showing you are embroidery patterns, which she has digitized for you. You can just buy them from her and throw them into your machine and make some beautiful embroidery. This fichu and this fichu are absolutely gorgeous. Man, and look at this apron down here. Wow, that's something. She does such a spectacular job. We also have Once Upon a Stitch. Emily will go ahead and stitch out the front of a pocket or some garters for you. And she also is interested in doing custom work for people with regard to embroidery and digitization. So you ping her if you're interested in something like that. But you can buy the pre-embroidered pocket and or garters from her, and then all you have to do is supply the back of that and the binding and the thread and needle, and you can go ahead and sew those things together for yourself. This one is fantastic. It goes with the strawberry dress. Wow, that's so beautiful. And lastly in this section is Romantic Recollections. This is her shop. She teaches people to embroider both hand, and there is some digitization I think that happens, but largely hand embroidery is done here. She does have patterns, embroidery designs, books, that sort of thing, but she also sells supply kits for some of she supplies classes, and so you can buy the supply kit for the class, but you can also buy the supply kit and just make the situation for yourself without having to attend the class. So these things are all options for you. This is a great site if you want to learn how to hand embroider. Someday I'm going to spend a lot of time spending money on this site and learning how to hand embroider, because my hand embroidery is atrocious, friends. Alright, well that's it. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed getting to see a little bit about where I buy my fabrics online. I always prefer to buy my fabrics in person, and for the most part I do, because I have the luxury of being able to go to the LA fabric district when we're not in the middle of a pandemic. But since we are, we have to buy fabric online, and these are the places that I trust and I know and I think are fantastic to be buying from. So like I said, the next video will cover corsets, commissions, and patterns, and that will be the last installment of my buying guide until someday, maybe in the distant future, when I have more things to tell you about where to buy things. But for now, these are the ones that I'm currently using. Like I said before, if you have others that you think are fantastic and that I've missed out on, please leave them down in the comments below and I will move them up after I vet them and make an ongoing running list of places people can go ahead and buy from. If you're hitting this video early, which I hope you are, please go check out the comments and see if anyone has suggested anything further for you to have a look at. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time with another video. Bye guys!